Hello. My name is Minora. I was voted the tightest hole out of 57 guys in my school. And other than that, I'm glad to be here.
Enough. Let's watch some idiot Wokies get smacked around. It's an expression YouTube. No one was hurt in this video, or were they? You're gonna have to watch to find out.
Pride parades should be banned.
Truth of the matter is you're surrounded by 25 really proud LGBTQIA people who do not give a about you.
You obviously do. You're here talking to me. What are you talking about? You obviously care what I have to
because
say.
you give
You're
such
sitting
a hard
6 inches from
about
me.
us.
I just want to be on YouTube, Michael.
Yeah. Some just want to be on YouTube. No, I'll tell you what. Look, we can.
Obsessed, and it's harmful when in history, but also today. This month alone, our entire government is run by straight white men who are hurting these communities. And I know you live on a pedestal, and you were able to put on your little suit today and spray on your little cologne.
I didn't put on any cologne. That's just my musk. That's my natural musk. Wait, hold on.
Correction, you should have put on cologne.
Oh, wow. Real nice.
Exactly.
Real nice.
But now let's imagine a world where you had to put on a dress and you had to put on heels.
I'd prefer not to. Yeah, I don't think I would do that.
So what do you do about the people in society who have to put on their suit to live and who have to have a wife to live? Because
I don't understand what you're asking
people
me.
should.
I
No matter what you feel deep inside, according to your views, people
I don't think
should.
anyone should be forced to be married or...
You're telling me you just spent your entire last 3 hours talking about how my people, men, should not be dressed in gowns.
Well, I think you're dressed fine. You're wearing a big t-shirt.
What if I wore
don't know, and I like your crucifix. I would discourage you.
The thong that I'm wearing underneath.
I don't need you to show me that.
Exactly.
I would suggest you not do that, but I don't really care that much.
So let's just go back to the point at hand.
Yeah. What is the point at hand?
Your claim, your idiotic claim that we should just stop LGBT.
I don't understand why it was allowed to rant for so long. Almost 2 minutes of butthurt, fatherless whines. What exactly are you trying to get across, dude? This is the issue with the far left. They are so inarticulate, they should hire a kindergartner as their spokesperson.
I also signed an executive order to ban men from playing in women's. 3 years ago, Peyton McNabb was an all-star high school athlete, one of the best, preparing for a future in college sports. But when her girls' volleyball match was invaded by a male, he smashed the ball so hard in Peyton's face, causing traumatic brain injury, partially paralyzing her right side and ending her athletic career. It was a shot like she's never seen before. She's never seen anything like it. Peyton is here tonight in the gallery, and Peyton, from now on, schools will kick the men off the girls' team or they will lose all federal funding. If you really want to see numbers, just take a look at what happened in the women's boxing, weightlifting, track and field, swimming, or cycling, where a male recently finished a long-distance race 5 hours and 14 minutes ahead of a woman for a new record by 5 hours. Broke the record by 5 hours. It's demeaning for women, and it's very bad for our country. We're not going to put up with it any longer. What I have just described is only a small fraction of the common sense revolution that is now, because of us, sweeping the entire world. Common sense has become a common theme, and we will never go back. Never. Never gonna let that happen.
Such a shame that it has to even be said. Common sense is back in America, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I said ladies and gentlemen.
Ich bin nicht mal an seinem Finger und das macht er mit Absicht, um aufmerksam zu
simuliere überhaupt keine Scheiße.
Ja, aber das kann schon passieren. Ihr tut es zum Beispiel auch. Also da ist halt...
I honestly would quit right there and then. Why is he exposing his baldness like it's the workers' fault?
Bad bathing is difficult, especially when you got a lazy caregiver.
What the did you just say? Especially when you got a what caregiver? Bad bathing is difficult. You're not supposed to be bathing in the bed. That's what the bathroom is for. That's what the shower is for. That's what the tub is for. You're not supposed to be bathing in the bed, sweetheart. You're lazy. You're lazy. Especially when you got a lazy Y'all have a blessed night. I'm tired. I know it's way past my bedtime. I love all of you.
I didn't even know bed bathing could be done for people like these. She's literally digging to clean you up. Lazy?
It's 2025, and somehow we've already gotten to the point to where we have plus-size people suing Uber because they don't fit in the car.
Asia Blanding tells us she was just trying to get to a Detroit Lions watch party this month when her Lyft rolled up.
You fit in his car? Believe me, yes, I can.
He told her there's not enough room in his car. The driver said his tires could not handle her weight.
It really hurt my feelings.
It would be no different than a driver pulling up and saying, you know, I don't want to have black people in my car, or I don't want to have Christians in my car, or Muslims in my car.
I really want people to see like what we go through as bigger people.
After watching that video, I've come to the conclusion that the only reason she sued them was because she got her feelings hurt. Here's a little newsflash for you, because obviously you don't get it. This isn't about your feelings. Uber isn't responsible for making the world conform to your size. If the driver says you're too big for the car, they have every right to cancel the ride because that's a safety issue, not a discrimination issue. Genuinely curious when this is gonna end. Because first it was suing airlines for not fitting on the plane, and then hotels for not fitting on the elevator, and now Uber and Lyft drivers for not fitting in the car. I mean, what's next? Suing buffets because nothing's free? I mean, come on, get it. All I'm trying to say is that if you're this big, that's a personal issue, nobody else's. Don't try and get the world to change and fit your reality. If you're that big and can't fit, that's on you, nobody else.
It's the only seat y'all got?
What you want? What you need?
A bigger chair or something.
Yeah, pretty little.
What I'm talking about. Good, this is the accommodation.
Regardless of all that, I commend her for choosing the perfect lawyer for this insanity. What a comparison.
Buddy. Okay. Single mom?
Yes.
Single mom, 5 kids. All your kids live with you?
Yes.
Okay,
Full
so there
time.
should be child support coming in, right?
Yes.
So what is that?
$1,000 a month is pretty much. I've been fighting, and I got approved for a child support increase like 3 years ago when COVID hit.
Yeah.
And since then, I was approved by the state. He lives in another state. He placed the divorce order in another state, and it's become impossible for him to voluntarily agree to give Texas jurisdiction. He won't do it. He's purposely not doing it so that I can't actual income I need for the children. So I'm being put in a position where, you know, and I have 2 smaller children that aren't school age yet, you know, so I have to be there during the day because I can't.
He was the father of all 5?
He's the father of 2.
And
the 2 oldest.
What about the others then? There should be child support.
My son, he does get sporadic child support payments. It's like 100 to
Well, what was
180
court
per
ordered?
month, like 370 a month.
2 other children unaccounted for.
Right. I don't get child support for both of them.
Why?
The youngest, she's about to be 2 in June on the 24th.
Jeez.
Her dad is completely evading. They've tried locating him like 4 times, and he's...
I don't think you have the best pick in men.
I do not.
Okay.
I don't even have words. Just kidding. Of course I do. She wants the father of 2 of her kids to take care of all 5 children. In what world?
If you ask me out and you're a millionaire, I'll say yes.
If they're not a millionaire?
Then we can be friends. If he doesn't own a house that's over $7 million, I won't date him. I just have, you know, goals and expectations and boundaries, and this is what I strive for.
What are the other criteria that you're looking for in a guy?
Someone that's successful,
Sure.
Motivated, influential,
Okay.
good values.
Minimum height?
Actually, I'm okay with the guy being short as long as he's rich.
Is this still catching up?
Did you want Santa Claus to come down your chimney too?
See? I told you this is a non-violent video. I mean, their logic is violently ridiculous, but we can just gasp and laugh it off.
You're the one swerving. I was just following you.
I'm the one swerving?
Oh,
I'm the one.
yeah, it was actually... Oh, there she goes.
Oh wow, dog, you're so tough. I hope insurance can cover your foolishness.
Because he's the best for the... Because he's the best for the...
Look at this weird guy. He's never lifted a weight in his life.
They call us weird.
Are you really gonna hit me? Are you really gonna hit me? You want to go to jail for assault? You look like...
What's wrong with the Democrats?
You look like Thomas Crooks. You look like Thomas Crooks. You're crazy. You better get out of here before you get your ass kicked. What a psycho.
What's wrong with the Democrats?
You're about to go viral, motherfucker. We got that on camera.
Did you see that thing running? Definitely a gay, non-binary trans man who sub-identifies as a chicken.
What's the weirdest thing about conservatives?
Imagine being that f***ing stupid.
Is there anything cool about conservatives?
No, absolutely not.
If you had to name one.
No.
Nothing?
Not a single thing.
Go like in depth on what's weird.
Thinking counts as an exercise, right? Yeah, we should let him rummage through his mind a bit more. Might shed a few pounds. Also, what university lets you write a thesis on conservative being stupid? That is really what your higher education summed up to. This is how you know who makes great cappuccinos.
You're saying that I can't have a hairstyle because of your culture? Why? Do you know it was in Egyptian culture? Are you Egyptian? Nah, bro, you're not. Are you Egyptian? No, but you said. Dude, go. You have no right to tell me what I can not wear. Huh? Dude, stop touching me right now. Go, girl. You put your hands on me, don't wear it. You're not. Make some shit because of what the hair I have? That's no reason, yo. I don't need your disrespect. I don't need your disrespect. Why you feel?
Oh, nothing. Just to ensure that the cops see what actually happened. You're dragging him around, but somehow he's the one touching you. And what's this about? His hairstyle? Give it a rest. I mean, don't destroy other people's properties. Do with yours what you will.
What are we rocking out for?
For immigrants.
Okay, good, we're rocking out for immigrants. This is Felix. He's from Mexico. He needs a place to stay. He's illegal. Yeah. They're about to round him up and put him in these camps. Will you take him home with you and save him?
I'm sorry.
Of course you're sorry, color me shocked.
I mean, like a birth, like carrying a child isn't like, that's not like easy and like chill. So
yeah, there's a whole spectrum. Some of them are easier than others, but none of them are easy. But just because something's hard doesn't mean that we can just, like, it's actually, as someone who has 4 born children, the older they get, the harder they are.
Why is the decision to be safe and responsible harder than the one to unalive a child? Absolutely ridiculous.
What is a woman?
What is it? That's a stupid question, dude. That's a dumb question.
What is a woman? It's not a trick question. What is a woman?
Someone who identifies as a woman.
You can't answer the question with the question. Yeah, define the woman without saying woman.
It's a social
You're in college paying for an education. What is a woman?
How about you talk to someone with media training? How about you talk to someone
You don't need media training. It's not a trick.
Well,
what is a woman? You can't answer the question with the... It's the colleges of America going hundreds of thousands of dollars into debt who think it's a trick question when you ask someone...
When these people finally grow up and begin to see reason, do you think they'd sue their colleges and professors?
I think one of the ways that women are oppressed is that they are enslaved in their sexualities. I think you need to get laid, girl. I'm engaged. I get laid quite frequently.
You need more, or the beta's not cutting it for you or something.
This is coming from a very strange position of deep internalized misogyny.
What is that?
The utterance that I need because of my behavior, because of my disagreeableness, I need to get laid. Just call me I guess. Just use a gendered insult. Okay, slay. And I'm allowed to be.
The battle of feministic misandrist. How refreshing.
This male preference argument against plastic surgery makes me want to throw up. Going under the knife to change your physical body to look more fuckable for men.
Don't you have Botox?
I don't think it has. Yes, I've gotten
fuckable.
Botox. Men get Botox. Getting breasts and getting a BBL is much different than getting Botox.
I didn't get it for a man.
You absolutely got it for men.
That's not our perception on it though.
No one gets a job for themselves.
I do get it
ridiculous.
for myself.
To feel confident for yourself.
Yeah, but it's feeling confident because you feel more fuckable.
Why is everything about
you're getting you are adding organ to your body? How is that a joke?
I think you might be the joke.
You are altering your body in a potentially lethal.
Lower your voice.
In a potential.
Lower your voice. Thanks. Lower your voice.
The cleavage draped in red has definitely had surgery, hence the irrational offense. I guess I like the beret girl. Shocking.
Are you alive?
Huh?
Are you alive?
I think I'm alive, yeah.
Think you're alive.
Yeah.
Is the sun shining?
I think it's shining, yeah. From my frame of reference, it is shining.
Philosophy is ticklish. You think you're alive?
Are you gay?
Yes.
What LGBT rights are you afraid to lose under Trump's presidency coming up?
All of them.
What specifically, though?
I'm not sure exactly which rights he's attacking, but probably all of them. So, because he doesn't like the LGBT community.
I mean, he had a gay wedding at his house in Mar-a-Lago. Did you know that?
No. He just wanted more votes, I'm assuming.
He did that the first 4 years he was president already. He was the first president to stand on stage with the LGBT flag. He had the first openly gay cabinet member, Rick Grinnell.
I didn't know that.
Are you gay?
Yeah.
Are you afraid of Trump being in office? Like, are you afraid that you're going to lose any rights?
I think indirectly, because obviously the federal government is separated from states. However, I live in the state of Florida, which is mostly a red state. I think that some of the things that are being allowed in the federal government due to like who the president is can definitely like indirectly affect me. I'm more scared economically because I fall into a low income category. I'm praying for the best. I'm both a racial minority, like sexuality wise puts me in that place too, and then like economically I fall low on the scale.
Well, what would you say if I said that Trump had a record number of Black and Hispanic voters like that was supporting him this election?
Oh yeah, I know that.
So why would you worry if more people? I mean, assuming you're Hispanic or you're half Black, half Hispanic, you're a good mix. I could tell.
I mean, I'm not surprised. People vote depending on what they think is going to help them. So if he was appealing to voters that fell into those statistics, then they're gonna vote for him.
What rights do you think LGBT people are afraid of losing now that Trump's going to be in office? Do you think they're afraid?
I mean, I can tell you why I think they're afraid. I don't think it's rights that they necessarily actually should have. I don't think it's an actual right to...
I mean, you watch a ton of gay content creators, right? You watch me, you watch Blair White.
I have close friends that are gays and in the LGBT community, and I love them dearly, like, nothing against them by any means. But personally, like, transitioning minors is not a right in my eyes.
Same. I agree with that. I think Blair White agrees with that as well.
Yeah, I think the rights that they're afraid of losing, well, maybe, like, marriage rights, but I don't think that's actually happening. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I mean, he had a gay wedding at his house, like, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
like,
I think
it was like 2 months ago.
To get married, to be with who you want. I don't think Trump being in office poses any real threat to anyone's livelihood.
What rights do gay people have that straight people don't, and vice versa? I really can't think of anything, unless their entitlement is asking for even more acceptance. But if most people are iffy about you guys right now, it's because you have become very hard to tolerate. Also, you didn't lose rights the first time, why worry this time?
Do you think our system has flaws?
Yeah, there's no perfect system.
Okay. Do you think any of those flaws might have to do with some sort of discrimination?
No, none at all. And if they are, then we need to point them out, which no one has put it out there that specifically this is discriminating specifically against their race. Most of the things that we hear about, specifically when it comes to criminal justice and everything else, has to do with classes more than it has to do with race.
Wealth classes?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. But don't you think wealth classes is related to race?
Do it, then we wouldn't be talking about white people and black people. We'd be talking about black people versus Asians then. Because Asians are the top class when it comes to wealth.
Okay.
She does look Asian, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. So the conversation switched to her people, and she got really quiet. A stellar woke advocate, no surprise there.
In one of your clips, you said that black people make up 30% of the population, 50% of the crime. That is just wrong, but...
No, it's actually higher than 50%, but yeah.
Oh, right. Okay, so I said crime. That is just not true. You're talking about murder, and like you're going straight to murder.
Oh yeah, you're right. I should be way more specific.
Yeah, you should be specific.
That blacks tend to kill more people than Hispanics, whites, and Asians combined. You're totally right.
Bro just betrayed his people. What point was he trying to make? Charlie downplayed the statistics, so he is wrong.
We have seen one estimate that says it would cost $88 billion to deport 1 million people a year.
I don't know if that's accurate or not.
Is that what American taxpayers should expect?
What price do you put on national security? Is that worth it?
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
And how much is gonna help other countries? How much did they give Ukraine? How much is it taking to feed and house these illegal immigrants? All of a sudden you wanna keep families together, says the pro-choicer.
What does anybody do for black people today?
That's a good question. That's what black people should be looking into, right? Democrats definitely not doing enough for black people. You can't name a policy today, right now. You can't name a policy that Democrats have done to benefit black people right now. I could tell you some that they benefit illegals.
But policies are
LGBTQ, I could go down the list.
Policies is nothing but energy. And if we know about basic physics, energy is just a force, but forces have to be acted upon for them to move.
So let's go with the Republican Party. What did Donald Trump do when he was in office? He secured funding for HBCUs, which I think was a positive.
Yeah.
He had these zones, I can't think of the name of it right now, it's skipping my mind, opportunity zones that he initiated. The First Step Act, which I was a part, me and Candace Owens and others were lobbying Congress, even lobbying against Republicans to get this passed. My uncle got out of prison, he got 40 years fed time for selling dope, and he got out early because of the First Step Act. So these are things that affect the black community, and economic success as a country helps everybody.
But at what cost of other countries though?
No,
but we stealing though. We gotta think about that, and then we stealing from our own ancestors and our own countries.
Well, we have a whole argument about the ancestor thing because I think that black people should be more upset with Africans than they should be white people. Because how did we get here?
Well, I'm not African.
I'm not saying you.
I'm Caribbean. You see my flag.
Well, they should be mad.
I'm Trinidadian.
You should be mad at the Africans.
I ain't mad at nobody.
Well, okay.
I don't hold grudges. That's the problem we got, because we got narratives that are being pushed, and then we don't know where to take our anger out, because first of all, we have emotional intelligence. We're not emotionally intelligent. Yeah. So there's nowhere for us to go for us to even be able to express ourselves or to even know how to express ourselves. So we take it out on each other, and that's the problem. That's where we at now.
But see, you have the problem. It's to reverse the things that you're saying. So how about when you're on campus, how you treat your brothers and sisters? How do you treat white people? That's going to be what
folks
makes
know
you different.
I'm a beacon of light, and I stand with God.
Everybody know that. Then you continue to do that, and you'll be a light to other people. Everybody here on campus, the way that you make a change is you being the change yourself. It's the same thing with God. I won't come here with a Bible in my hand and hit y'all over the head with it. You got to live a lifestyle. When you live a lifestyle that people believe is immoral, people begin to wonder, what are you doing? What are you a part of? And the same thing happens in anything else in your life. Oh, she's still back. I thought I prayed her away. You still, as individuals, should look in the mirror and say, I am an individual living in America that everybody else has. What am I going to do with it? And when adversity hit, how do you...
Somebody break down what he's saying in the comments, please. He's just putting words together. Energy, physics, what?
People did not choose grocery prices over your human rights. People chose grocery prices over your delusions that your rights were being taken away in the first place. Nobody is taking away your rights. Trump was already president, and he didn't take away gay marriage. He didn't enact a national abortion ban. So stop scolding working class people because they didn't prioritize your delusions over their ability to put food on the table. The people who talk so much about privilege don't seem to understand what a privileged position it is to be in, to be able to prioritize your own delusions that your rights are being taken away, to be able to prioritize that over your ability to put food on the table. I see so many people doing anything but reflecting on why the Democrat Party's message was such a resounding failure with the American people this election cycle. This was a sweeping red wave because people are tired of prioritizing fake issues. People are tired of coddling adults who demand that everybody prioritize their feelings over everyone else's ability to feed themselves.
I mean, who in their right mind would choose a good meal over a trans teacher? Make it make sense.
When you're black, you're never really lonely because there will always be a white person all up in your business.
For the life of me, I still can't stop thinking about this. I've had people threaten my life over the fact that they think that black people can't be racist. Shit like this goes down, and nobody from that side says anything. It's absolutely mind-blowing how many black people are on this app alone being racist to people like that and getting away with it. Can you imagine if a white woman did the exact same thing? Filmed an innocent black man for just sitting there. It bothered her so bad that he was just sitting there not doing nothing, that she had to film it and post it. internet would tear her up. They would not let her live another day without being harassed. They would find her job, they would call her friends, they would call her family, they would call her dog, all because she filmed an innocent black man for not doing anything, and it bothered her. So what's the difference between this and that? Ladies and gentlemen, that is called black privilege.
And I know people were empathetic of her racism in the comments. I just know it. That man probably didn't even notice your existence.
50s, I'm buying as many blue beads and blue hearts as I can, and I'm gonna make bracelets, so we know who we can trust.
Oh no, not blue bracelets signaling that you voted for Kamala. I don't know how Trump will ever recover.
I'm trying hard to keep it together today.
That was you keeping it together?
So we're going to make friendship bracelets, and we're gonna keep each other safe.
She just seems really stable and well-adjusted. This is just peak virtue signaling. It is the epitome of performative activism with no actual sacrifice of any kind, but just trying to signal that you're one of the good people with a meaningless gesture that most people won't even notice or understand. It's actually condescending and kind of offensive, falsely suggesting that Trump supporters are unsafe to be around, or that minorities, who this is targeted at, are so fragile that they need to be reassured that they're in a safe space, when in actuality, most of them are resilient adults who can handle sharing space with people who might disagree with them on some things. Sorry, but I find this idea that you can trust people or not trust them based on how they vote incredibly toxic and inaccurate. There are good and bad people on both sides of the political aisle, and there are people who treat each other in the real world with kindness and empathy and respect from either political party, and there are people from either party who screw other people over and don't give a crap about anyone else. You just can't use politics as any sort of proxy for trustworthiness in business, in family, or in anything else. At least not with any degree of accuracy or seriousness. But then again, maybe I'm wrong, because some of them are making the bracelets with crystals that offer protection or something.
How are community psycho bracelets supposed to assure you of safety of any kind? Also, is she in a classroom? Oh no.
You know. I like this particular one because it is made of lapis lazuli. I might be pronouncing that wrong, but that's the crystal. It is the crystal for power and protection, which I figure we could use a little bit of right now.
Well, I really have no rebuttal to this. I mean, if the blue bracelets are made of protective crystals, of course there'll be a powerful message and keep people safe. It's moments like this where I almost want to give up. Anyway, this whole trend just sticks out to me as obnoxious and dumb because it is yet more virtue signaling from woke people who seem desperate to signal that they're so good and so virtuous and they're not like the bad people, but they always seem dead set on doing it in ways that require no actual sacrifice or work of any kind on their end.
It's about crystals and makeup and shirts and colors, never doing anything of impact. How can an entire group of people be so societally cancerous and useless?
When the cops come get your black asses and they have full immunity after they done boomed y'all, don't ask me to protest, because the answer's no. I'm not sharing a post, a hashtag, ask your president.
So the people that are trying to get into little clips and jokes, I don't find this funny. I don't find productive takes to be funny. The overwhelming majority of black people showed up to vote blue. And you can always a joke until the cows come home. But because Trump was elected, you're pardoning state-sanctioned violence. I'm like 99.9% sure that if a black person is boomed on the streets by an officer, you're not gonna find out if there was a Trump supporter. And I'm 100% sure that that wouldn't matter. But this is the same rhetoric that y'all use when these natural disasters ravish red states. Oh, they're a red state, they deserve it, even though there are blue cities in that state. Not everybody in those red states votes red. Typically, the people that vote blue are minorities. But y'all really showing your ass in the worst way. And this elitist attitude that y'all have towards people living in the South. We talk about that another day.
All that hatred in her heart must be stored in those cheeks, though. If that black person turns out to be someone close to you, though, would protests be open again?
Nah, I ain't even gonna hold you. It's one thing to wanna dry hump the pool as
as a grown man who should be clocked in at their job. It's one thing to want to do that, but it's a whole nother thing to gather a bunch of other men, you know what I'm saying, and do it as a group project together. You hit your bottom lip and you did this together. Like we need to be able to talk about that. Y'all did that together. You know what I'm saying? Men used to solve problems. You know?
What is the weirdest thing about conservatives?
That they're brainwashed, they're all cultish.
You think so?
Yeah, absolutely.
And what's something you agree with conservatives on?
Not a damn thing anymore.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Can't name one?
No.
Immigration, free speech, First, Second Amendment?
First and Second Amendment, sure.
Okay. All right, so we have some agreement.
I would love to show you the silliest thing on the internet right now. What even is that?
Rachel, you're too old to be talking. Stop being a pick-me.
Oh, yeah, pull that one up really quick. She was spurred by the polite bow to a man who loves her is degrading. LOL, we know why she is.
Have you been picked yet in your old age?
Wait.
Have you been
know?
Picked yet in your old, look at her. Have you been picked yet in your old age? No? Okay.
Oh my God, I
shut the
wish
fuck up.
Andrew was here right now. This is Andrew's wife. Bruh.
Okay.
Also, even if Rachel was a pick-me, she got picked.
I just love when the buzzwords don't fly. You take off your clothes for a living. When a woman calls that out, she's suddenly a misogynist and a pick-me. Maybe some women don't think stuffing ones in your underwear is chic. Just maybe.
Do you support reparations for black people because of slavery?
To some extent, yes.
What about you? Do you support? Definitely? Yeah. Perfect. So we have Joel over here, Joel Patrick. He has a reparation jar. You guys have the chance to pay him for your crime.
$10 for picking up my exam.
You did? $10? Hey.
All right, here we go. Grown men are going to get out their wallets to pay for slavery.
All right, I'll propose to.
All right.
You have been forgiven for the crimes against my ancestors.
Are you a professor here?
Yeah.
What do you teach?
Oh, what is this for anyway?
It's for YouTube.
YouTube.
He's a professor of communism. Why are you paying for the crimes of ancestors that you don't even know? You probably don't even know their names. These people shape minds.
Are you voting for Trump?
Yep.
White supremacist.
How? How can you say that?
How can I say if you vote for Donald Trump, you're a white supremacist? How? Because you support that man in office.
That's not an argument. I'm gonna need proof that makes me a white supremacist. You're gonna have to break down the argument.
It's not my job to say that.
You just accused me of being a white supremacist. You should be able to back that up.
Are you voting for Donald Trump?
I sure am.
That's my proof.
Are you voting for Joe Biden?
Yes, I am.
Then you're a pedophile.
No.
Yes, you
Trump's
are.
a pedophile.
You're a pedophile.
Well, if the shoe fits, you have to wear it, Cinderella. But actually, you're more like Fiona when the sun goes down. But for the sake of my sassy comment, you can be Cinderella. You're welcome.
In your Twitter bio, you say you're for physics students. Pro. Let's start with pro.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I'm just really good at it. At being living.
What does that mean?
I feel like to be it's a term that comes out of society for someone who is obviously just a little bit more promiscuous, but I feel like to have a lot of fun and we get a bad rap about that. So
Oh, you just get a bad rap.
Yeah. I'm an ethical.
What is that?
It means that, for example, like, I'm not gonna like hit on you if you are in a relationship. Like, I'm not gonna try to get with you or something like that unless you guys both consent. I'm like really into consent. I'm to, you know, we can have fun, but people, and I respect those boundaries.
She says she's an ethical SLUT. Yeah, sure. And I'm not honest, Kamala.
I asked her to excuse me. I asked her to excuse me.
And she said no, so now
let go of the trolley, please.
Sir, no, so go around.
I don't care. You don't control my passage anywhere. You don't belong to me. You don't own me. Excuse me, I've asked several times.
What you're doing at the moment,
I've asked you several times.
You're assaulting someone, sir. You're assaulting someone.
I've asked several times, please. I've asked you nicely.
You've not been provoked.
You've done.
Yes, and you can go
I've asked her several times nicely.
She said no.
You don't have the right to say no. Who the hell do you think you are?
Excuse me, I want to get past here.
You can go around, madam.
No, I'm not going round. You move.
No.
Well, I'll just knock you out the way with my trolley then.
You'll do what you must do, madam, but we're protesting, make a point, okay?
I would have ran tracks over their feet. That manager is a dummy, by the way. Blaming customers? Nah.
How do you feel with your husband like making these comments, saying rude things to women or like screaming over them?
Well, he doesn't say rude things to women until they say something rude to him first. Bangs was the first one to say, he's got wrinkles and he's old and he's got gray hair.
Okay.
So of course he's gonna say something back. And they've had exchanges back and forth before. And she's plenty happy to be rude and say mean things to him first. Everyone thinks that's okay because she's a woman. But if Andrew just simply gives her a taste of her own medicine back, you all go, you believe he said that? And it's like, why? Why is it fine for her to insult him, but it's uncalled for when he just simply gives it back to her? What's wrong with that?
I have a question for you too. You said that you're getting worse with age. How do you feel about that?
Well, I've been on the show myself and I'm 44 years old. I've had 5 kids. So no, I'm not as hot as I was when I was 22. The time of your life that you're hot is short and it's limited. You're not gonna always be a hot chick.
Trying to turn Andrew's wife Rachel into some delusion feminist with dumb statements is a bit of a losing battle, really.
Human nature to be attracted to more than one person, regardless of your inner relationship.
Hold on, repeat that.
I said I think it's human nature for people to be attracted to more than one person, even though they're in a relationship. It comes down to the commitment within the relationship.
I think it's probably not human nature to go off while staring at a phone screen 2 or 3 times a day, every single day, and I have no normal sexual intimacy with real life human females.
I used to watch porn with my ex. It was pretty fun.
Isn't that sad that you guys can't enjoy each other? You can't be intimate without watching other people have on a TV screen on a bunch of illuminated light bulbs in your face? What's false?
That we can't have intimacy without watching other people, because we can. We just chose to like watch fun. And he was showing me girls that can like deep and like trying to teach me how to deep. It was kind of exciting.
It's cute. I like that.
Right?
It's like you're a part of it, so it's nice, you know?
Yeah.
I think that guy should take videos of his girl and go off to those.
Say it again?
That guy,
Oh.
he should take videos of his girl and go off to those.
This entire clip made my lunch come back up. What are they even saying? And can't the one with a boob job just speak normally? Even the Kardashians have moved on. Thank you for your service, sir.
Feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know
bless.
that.
We'll not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on
position
this
to
question.
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly
this.
what I'm not
You're in
dictating.
no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're
will.
going to feel very
You will
good.
feel influenced.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed
From the
yourself
very-
to be in a
from
very
the
bad
very
position,
beginning
and he
of the
happens
war.
to be right about
From
it.
the very beginning of the war.
You're not
Mr.
in a
Brown,
good position.
I
You don't
was
have
in
the cards right now. With us, you start having
not
cards.
playing
But
cards.
right now, you
I'm
don't.
very
Yeah, you're playing
serious,
cards.
mister.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're gambling
I'm the
with the
president
lives
in
of
war.
millions of people.
Yes,
You're
yes.
gambling with World War III.
What do you
You're
think about?
gambling with
What do you
World
think
War
about?
III. And
You-
what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. It's
with
back
all
to you.
respect to your
Far
country.
more than a lot of people said
I'm wearing
they
respect.
should have.
A lot of times.
No, in this
Even
entire meeting
today.
that you said thank
Even
you.
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States
What
of
are you speaking
America
about?
and the president who's trying to save your country.
And that's how you president. Somebody get Kamala. I would say Biden, but he's got other issues.
You're voting for Kamala. Which policies of hers do you support?
All of them, actually.
Which one specifically, though?
Probably the women's right to choose.
What's her policy on that?
I'm out.
Not one policy.
It's not necessarily more of all of her policies. It's more of like, kind of like the better choice. Who are you voting for?
Kamala Harris.
Camilla. That's a new one. What's your favorite policy, though?
The environment.
Well, Trump was actually great for the environment. He signed the Save Our Seas Act. We were energy independent. Everything. What specifically? Oh, everything.
What's your favorite policy?
Who would I be if I don't bash on Just Stop Oil?
Now! Move the crowd!
I don't care. He's holding it. He's just making it life physical. Yeah, you're making it life physical. What are you making a video for? One last time, move a bit.
Yes, someone who's willing to throw some hands. Again, no one got hurt. I wish someone did. Was anyone else screaming, "Hit the gas, hit the gas, hit the gas"? I know I was. Shout out to Germany.
What's your biggest obstacle in life right now?
My biggest obstacle in life? Trump. Trump, absolutely. So
do you wake up and think about him?
Yes, constantly, every day.
Do you go to sleep and think about him?
Yes, every day.
Are you in love with him?
I hate his guts.
Aha, does somebody have a crush? Donald Trump is married, though. Sorry, that's a no-go area.
We love black people, unless they're conservative. No, it's they, them, and Zer. Yeah, don't mess it up. It's not a baby in the womb. It's a fetus. It's a fetus. It's Kamala. It's Kamala. Say her name. Say her name. A painting has a painter, a house has a builder, but the world, no creator whatsoever. Random explosion. It's just a clump of cells. Just a random explosion. Trump's record low inflation of 1.2% in 39 years? He can thank Obama for that. Biden's record high inflation of 9.2%, he can blame Trump for that. I'm talking. When my child gets older, I'll let them decide their gender, but I'm still gonna have a gender reveal. Black lives matter, and black on black crime, what's that? It's a clump of cells. Anyone that identifies as a woman should be able to go into a woman's bathroom and play women's sports. Respect women, their bodily autonomy, and not have men mansplain. We came from monkeys. Heck no, I'm not letting my 15-year-old get a tattoo. I'll let my 15-year-old get a gender reassignment though.
Can't wait to see Kamala in 2028 though? I miss the craziness.
But we're supposed to have sympathy and give grace to black women for stuff like this. This is supposed to be funny. And the comments don't make it no better. The comments are women laughing, the women who are saying me too, let me hurry up. Like, this stuff is a joke. Which is why we're not taken seriously. All these women were fighting for their lives about Kamala losing because our rights were being taken away and we can't do this with our body. And women do stuff like this. They make jokes about this stuff. Like, this is sad. This is sad. We are such a joke, and we don't really care about our bodies. It's all talk. It is literally all talk. And as I always say, what kind of example does it set for young girls who are watching and using unaliving babies as a birth control method?
Who inseminated that though? I mean, she doesn't even look fit to care for herself.
Hey MAGA, how come all you look like you got rejected by God as a sacrifice?
What does that even mean? I have questions. I wanted so badly for this to be satire, but it is not. The lack of self-awareness is astounding. It's crazy. And I have so much to say, like a lot, but TikTok won't let me.
Somebody doesn't have mirrors at home, and it shows.
My assertion here is that I do not value the fetus prior to that point because they lack this ability that is necessary for them to be harmed.
Interesting. He says they lack the ability necessary for them to be harmed. But someone can be harmed without ever being consciously aware of it. For example, if you had a right to an inheritance, but someone illegally changed the will to rob you of what should have been yours, then you were harmed without ever being aware of it. Moreover, if a woman is unconscious and under complete anesthetic for a surgery, and the surgeon rapes her and then murders her, she will have been harmed despite never feeling pain and never being aware of the harm that was done to her.
That little blonde man just irks me, honestly. Where's his mother? I have questions.
Bruce, I am a transplanted woman and I am looking for a good man. Brother, look deep within yourself and stop eating curly fries.
Bruce might be my new favorite person.
Asian people have naturally straight hair. There are other races that have naturally straight hair. So even if I did want to straighten my hair, it wouldn't, like, who says it's because a white woman is doing it or because that's how their hair is. It could be because that's how our Asian woman's hair is. That's not the case at all for me, but I'm just saying it's not always white women, you know?
I do understand that, but I mean, like, if black people were never colonized, they would never even have the chance really to see anybody with straight hair in the first place. So if we lived in all black societies and black communities, it would be afros, it would be dreads, it would be twists, it would be things like that. So how could you not get it from a white person? Because Asians didn't colonize us, so it has to be them. Am I right?
I can definitely see it from your perspective.
Well, braids don't belong and aren't exclusive to black Americans. In fact, it didn't originate from you, so why is it appropriation when white women wear box braids?
Shameful. Are you the one that walks by here and always screaming at people? No, I haven't walked by recently. Okay, because a lot of people walk by. Yeah, I'm not surprised. You are voting for the devil. Don't you know that? Why are you voting for him? Because I believe he is the moral candidate. Oh my God. You for that one. That's moral? Exactly oh my God. That's he's the most immoral person around. In your opinion, that's okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. God. Everybody's opposed to you.
Remember when the elderly used to be beacons of wisdom? So remember when this deranged person asked Charlie Kirk this.
So when Kamala wins and when you go into manic spirals, everything you've worked for crumbles around you, what illicit you can overdose?
Well, a Wokie has cooked up the perfect answer.
Alright, worst case scenario, Trump gets reelected. Here is the game plan if that happens. The general rule of thumb from now on is use it to attack someone. If so, keep your mouth shut. You no longer know that any of your trans friends are trans. You no longer know that any of your non-Christian. You no longer know that any of your friends, family, or neighbors are left-leaning at all. Anyone that you don't know tries to talk about politics around you, shut that fishing for information and people they can report. Anyone tries to instigate a protest, so fishing for people that they can report. Anyone you know who is an immigrant, you are now going to tell anyone who America their whole lives. Because if you are not among the people who need to flee for their own safety, you are part of the people who are helping them flee. You do not brag about helped. You do not tell others about the people you have helped. You keep your mouth shut about all of it on every single possible forum. You reply, who has time to talk about politics? And nothing to your opinion on global warming. You say, I don't talk about politics. Suffrages and unionization, you say, I don't talk about politics. Someone asks about your opinion on the rights of other people, you say, I don't talk about politics. It's gonna hurt, but that's what's gonna help you in basic ground rules for surviving a fascist government, which is 100% what Donald Trump has said on camera he wants to put in place if he gets reelected. I am not trying to tell you that he is going to successfully overthrow the government. I am telling you these are the things that are going to happen if he does wind up back in the White House and what you need to do to prepare. And finally, you may not like it, but get yourself firearms safety training and stay strapped. Because worst comes to worst, you also need to be able to defend yourself. And the Second Amendment is probably the only constitutional right that Donald Trump will not. Probably most importantly, if he does get elected and you talk about your personal politics anywhere on social media, you need to delete that account in its entirety. There will still be archived evidence of it, but at the very least, they can't go into a profile that those are still your views, which can be the difference between walking free and being in a camp.
Yeah, exactly. That's what these people spend their time thinking about.
There's a reason that women live longer, Mark. Let me tell you, stronger, and we are happier at the end of the day than most men, and that is factual, and you know it.
When men are married to women who scream like you, they just...
I mean, we're not married, but she's very pitchy. That could push a man over the edge.
You voting for Trump this fall? What do you think? Yes, because you want American. Oh yeah, let me guess. It's nice to fill up your car in a car.
Already great.
How's filling up your car at the gas station? So great, right?
Trump wants us back in slavery.
That's just nonsense you hear on your news station. Smart man, bringing his headphones in so he doesn't have to listen, ramble about some BS he doesn't care about. Anyone got one reason I should vote for Harris? Same, because I don't have one either.
If you cared about your country, you...
If you cared about your country, you wouldn't be walking in there to hear some alcoholic drunk spit some gibberish out in front of you.
Well, let me tell you something.
Oh yeah, listen to them, right?
They told me not to talk about how dumbass you are.
Using cuss words because you can't say anything.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how to completely shatter these people.
Who are you voting for in 2024?
I will be voting for Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris, and why is that?
Because the other option, Donald Trump, is like evil and worse.
And do you have any specific reasons why he's evil?
I'm trying to think off the top of my head. A lot of like immigration laws, policies on like LGBTQ people, that kind of thing essentially.
Do you have any specific things he said about LGBTQ people that he's
He doesn't like them, and that kind of doesn't work for me, especially with like trying to ban abortion, which isn't exactly the same issue, but is a related issue in like women.
Didn't Kamala hold a whole meeting so her nieces could teach the nation how to surprise? Somebody's liberal card is about to be revised.
So you said you went home and got changed. Did you get changed into this?
Yes.
Okay, explain this for me because I don't think a lot of people will understand.
I don't know. It's just, I just like to feel comfortable in my skin. So I just wear whatever I want. And especially during big events, I like to just dress how I feel.
Okay.
And so this was just for fun.
Okay.
I love collars, so I wear those.
Okay.
But everything else is just kind of pride.
I have the perfect response. Hold on.
What the is even?
Yeah, exactly.
So I just want to make sure I get this right. Your kid at 18 years old comes to you. It's been 18 weeks of just agonizing suffering for them emotionally because Mrs. Wright left him in front of you, and he says, you know what, Mom? I'm just going to put an end to this. And he pulls out that heater up to the head. That's what he wants, and you're going to respect that?
I'm going to say, what can I do?
Yeah, and he says, nothing. This is what I want.
That's just like grandiose stuff that is out of my control.
Stop him, or you would?
Am I going to physically go and grab
Yeah, would
that
you physically
gun?
grab it? Sure, of course.
I'm going to grab him, not the gun.
So
I'm
you're
going to
try to stop him.
I'm going to try to talk to him.
Yeah, to
But
stop that.
why do you, or anyone who identifies as Christian think they know what is best for
For
me?
the same reason
For
that
me.
you think you know what's best for that 18-year-old.
We are not God.
Yeah,
This-
here's the thing.
this apples and
Regardless of if I knew you or didn't know
These
you,
two
I know
topics
what is
don't-
moral and what is not.
Where exactly do these people come from? Okay, the argument was on why Christians think they should try to stop prostitution. Andrew's argument was that prostitution was morally wrong. The bimbo thinks people should do whatever, even though it's wrong, as long as it affects them. So he brought up that scenario. I hope she donates her uterus or something. That's scary.
Can men get pregnant?
Men cannot get pregnant.
Okay.
Definitionally.
Definitely. So I'm a transgender man.
Okay. Okay.
And abortion rights, there's no legislation in the history of America that legislates a man's body, so why does mine have to be legislated? I've got a vagina.
I'm not interested in your genitalia.
Clearly you are.
I think you can read on my face that I radically am not.
You attack my community constantly. And you don't even realize guys like me who actually share a lot of similarities to you, because I'm a married man of 20 years, got
I
a wife.
recognize that you exist. I disagree with your
Right,
claim
so
that you
if
are a
I
male.
was second, your choice as a man to live and free and all that.
You're really.
Back up. What's going on here exactly? You're not a man. No man in the history of the world has ever said, I've got a vagina. Please shut up.
How do you define abortion really quickly?
Abortion would be the forcible termination of a an unborn human life.
Yes, but like, why do you hold that definition? Like, would you not assume like something like a C-section would be considered an abortion?
No, because the baby is born alive.
But
so how would that be an abortion?
What does the definition of abortion have to include the death of a fetus?
Because that's literally the definition of abortion.
It literally isn't though. Where are you getting this definition from?
Where are you getting your definition from?
Like Mayo Clinic, like any fucking like hospital you've ever gone to before.
A C-section ends with the birth of.
You can simply say that abortion is simply the ending of a pregnancy, right? So the ending of a pregnancy outside of the natural birth of a fetus. So I don't see that. I don't see why you would say that. Like, which is why I'm pro-abortion all 9 months, right?
I just don't understand how you're removing the death of the fetus from the equation about abortion. That's literally the entire moral issue. You and I would not even be arguing about C-sections or about natural birth.
But it seems like at its core, though, we disagree on what the inherent definition of abortion is.
Okay, then let's just not talk about that. Let's talk about the forcible termination of a baby.
Okay, so then what do you value in the fetus then?
The life of the
Brace yourself, here comes another one. Maybe you should get pro-health. That would benefit you more.
So this is a really beautiful picture. I want my daughter to have the right to abortion that I didn't have. Hey mom, she's literally right there. She's right there. Hey, tell us you hate your daughter without actually telling us. Oh wait, you did. You wrote a whole ass sign about it. I will happily adopt this child and raise her before Grimace here completely ruins her. Can you guys help me out here?
When is the Liberal Mother of the Year award?
You ever been on a private jet before?
No, not yet.
Not yet? Want to find out?
No.
Another fake ice, private jet poser. Give me a break. If you own a jet, you wouldn't be on a balloon show, my guy.
Lindsay, I have seen you all over TikTok because your ugly mug seems to just pop up anywhere and wherever it can. It's much like a dog turd in the yard. It's just, as far as the match is concerned, I'm still up for it. You said you were going to pay for it.
Let's do it.
So pay for it. I would love to kick it out of you in front of people. I mean, that's what we're talking about, right? We're talking about a match where we're kicking the shit out of each other. Well, I'd love to do it to you. I'd love to give people a good show.
First of all, Tommy, we had over 50 people in that live that were willing to help or actually pay for your flight ticket out to Arizona. And when we were trying to make arrangements, you ran. You dipped out. But it doesn't matter now because I'm super excited that you're willing to do this. So we need to make this happen. This is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be like one big party and we're going to raise a ton of money. So first we need to find a venue in Arizona. Second, we need to figure out how to get Tommy off the couch and to Arizona. And let's be honest here, the only reason why Tommy Boy over here is running his mouth is because he doesn't think anybody's gonna help contribute to his flight to Arizona to actually make this happen.
Would you look at that? A pedophilic woman beater excited to put his obese hands on a woman in public. Nothing crazy here. Just another day in the office.
Would you want to try one? It's vegan chicken. It's a little spicy though. It did, I did. Vegan was a good chicken though. She sadly passed away though.
This is not vegan?
Oh yeah, it's vegan like our chicken's named Vegan.
Now her therapist has to hear about all that. Not cool, man.
What's your least popular opinion?
There's no such thing as a human that's illegal.
Okay, so so you would support a bridge, not a wall.
I love a bridge.
A bridge would
I love
be
a
great.
bridge all the time.
Bridges are so fun because people with the little locks on them and they're very cute.
Everyone should take a mental competency test to see if they understand what politics really are before they vote.
Well, what a friend group. Well, it's a wrap. As always, shout out to you for watching. Thank you so much. Don't forget those buttons. See you in the next one.